welcome back to Jay's Retro Toys and Games, the channel where classic consoles, forgotten accessories, and nostalgic memories come back to life. Today's feature dives deep into one of the most fascinating and underrated pieces of NES history, the HyperStick Controller. This ambitious accessory promised to bring the arcade experience straight into the living room, offering players a new level of control and precision that few other peripherals could match. And though it could never achieve the fame of Nintendo's official controllers, the HyperStick remains a beloved relic among collectors and retro gaming enthusiasts who appreciate its craftsmanship and ambition. And we're going to look at this interesting HyperStick controller on episode number 112 of the Jay's Retro Toys and Games, which starts right now. Welcome back to Jay's Retro Toys and Games. I'm your host, Jason DiCanio, for this 112th episode on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. All of you I know had a great Easter Sunday. We took a break from recording on Holy Week to have time with the Lord and to spend Easter with our family and our friends. And I know you would understand that situation too. So I want to shout out to everybody a happy Easter. And we're still in the Easter season. We're going to be in the Easter season for the next 7 to 8 weeks. So if you think Easter Sunday was the last day of the Easter season, no. Easter's only begun. And spring is here. Well, if you live in Florida like I do, it's more like summer, because we've gotten some pretty hot temperatures. But we got a hot, interesting device to share with you tonight, courtesy of our wonderful subscriber, Susan Fit47, who has given us a list of NES accessories, mainly third-party, that were not popular, but still hung around, and people used these controllers in ways to help them get better at the games. And tonight we're looking at the NES Hyper Controller. This is an interesting HyperStick controller. This is a very interesting thing that I didn't know existed. And so, of course, NES had a lot of other things up its sleeve that were willing to be sold to the public to try to hopefully get better at their games, and maybe this was finally one of them that actually was able to compete with the regular controller. Well, let's find out. So the late 1980s marked the golden age of the NES, and after revitalizing the video game industry, the NES became a household name, introducing millions to the joys of home gaming. And with its growing popularity came a surge of third-party developers eager to create accessories that enhanced gameplay. From light guns to power pads, the market was flooded with innovations. And among these, the HyperStick stood out as a serious attempt to replicate the arcade experience that so many players loved. It was born from a time when gaming was evolving rapidly, and every new accessory promised to redefine how players interacted with their consoles. The HyperStick was developed by a third-party manufacturer determined to bring arcade precision to the NES. Its creators studied the mechanics of arcade cabinets, focusing on the tactile feedback and responsiveness that made them so satisfying to play. The goal was to design a controller that could deliver the same experience at home, and the result was a sturdy, professional-grade joystick that appealed to serious gamers. The HyperStick's development reflected a growing demand for accessories that went beyond the basics, catering to players who wanted more control, more comfort, and more authenticity. The HyperStick's design was a bold departure from the standard NES controller, and it featured a large, heavy base that could rest securely on a table or lap, providing stability during intense gameplay. The The joystick was tall, spring-loaded, and smooth, offering precise directional control. The oversized A and B buttons were designed for rapid tapping, and while the inclusion of turbo switches allowed players to adjust the speed of automatic button presses. Some models even included a slow-motion toggle, achieved by rapidly pausing and unpausing the game. The durable plastic casing and rubber grips ensured that the controller could withstand hours of use without slipping or wearing down. The late 1980s and the early 90s saw a flood of third-party NES accessories, each promising to enhance gameplay in unique ways. The HyperStick faced stiff competition from other popular controllers like the NES Advantage and the QuickShot series. And while Nintendo's official peripherals had the advantage of brand recognition, the HyperStick appealed to a niche audience that valued performance over popularity. Its arcade-inspired design gave it a distinct identity, and for players who grew up in arcades, it offered a sense of familiarity that other controllers couldn't match. When the HyperStick hit store shelves, it quickly caught the attention of dedicated gamers. Reviews were mixed but passionate. Enthusiasts praised its solid construction, responsive controls, and arcade-like feel, while casual players found it bulky and less convenient than the standard NES controller. Its higher price point also limited its appeal to a smaller audience. However, for those who invested in it, the HyperStick became an essential part of their gaming setup. It was particularly popular among fans of fighting games, shooters, and platformers, genres that benefited most from its precision and durability. The HyperStick truly shined in games that demanded quick reflexes and precise movements. Titles like Gradius, Contra, and Punch-Out felt more immersive when played with the HyperStick. The joystick's responsiveness allowed for smoother control, while the turbo functions made rapid-fire gameplay easier. Players who mastered the HyperStick often found themselves performing better in fast-paced games, achieving higher scores and faster completion times. It wasn't just a controller, it was a tool for mastery, giving players a competitive edge that standard controllers couldn't match. The HyperStick's influence extended far beyond its own lifespan, and its design principles inspired later peripherals like the NES Advantage, which adopted similar features such as turbo buttons and a sturdy base. The concept of customizable input speeds and ergonomic layouts became standard in future generations of controllers. Even modern fight sticks used in competitive gaming owe a debt to early innovations like the HyperStick, which proved that players valued precision and customization as much as simplicity. It helped establish the foundation for the professional-grade controllers used in esports today. In the modern era of retro gaming, the NES HyperStick has become a prized collectible. Its rarity, combined with its distinctive design and nostalgic appeal, makes it a sought-after item among enthusiasts. Finding one in good condition, especially with its original packaging, can be challenging, but for collectors, it's a treasure worth hunting for. And many retro gamers still use the HyperStick with the original NES consoles or modern adapters, appreciating its authentic arcade feel and solid construction. It stands as a testament to the creativity and innovation that defined the 8-bit era. As time passes, preserving vintage gaming hardware has become increasingly important. Many HyperStick units have suffered from wear, dust, or broken components. Fortunately, dedicated fans and restoration experts have taken it upon themselves to repair and refurbish these controllers. Replacement parts, cleaning kits, and online tutorials have made it possible to restore the HyperStick to its former glory. This preservation effort ensures that future generations can experience the same tactile satisfaction that players enjoyed decades ago. The NES HyperStick may not have been a commercial blockbuster, but its legacy endures, and it represents a time when gaming was defined by experimentation and passion. The HyperStick bridged the gap between the arcade and the living room, offering players a taste of professional-grade control long before competitive gaming became mainstream. Its influence can still be felt in modern controller design, and its story continues to inspire collectors, developers, and players who appreciate the artistry of gaming hardware. This NES HyperStick controller remains a remarkable piece of gaming history, a bold attempt to bring the arcade experience into the home. Its innovative design, durable build, and advanced features made it a standout accessory in the NES era. And though it never achieved mass market success, its legacy lives on through the players who cherished it and the controllers it inspired. For collectors and retro gaming fans, the HyperStick is more than just a controller. It's a symbol of creativity, ambition, and the enduring spirit of classic gaming. Thanks for watching Jay's Retro Toys and Games. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give a big shout out to Susan Fit47 for keeping the retro spirit alive. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the classics that shaped gaming history. We'll see you on Thursday for another edition of Jay's Retro Toys and Games. Till then, have a great night. Bye for now.